Consider the role of this factory worker in the early 20th century. During this era, personnel departments were largely administrative, managing payroll, basic safety, and plant compliance as a cost of doing business. For decades, industrial growth was limited by the availability of capital. Today, however, many executives find that while cash is abundant, their major projects stall because they cannot recruit and maintain an efficient, enthusiastic labor force. In a knowledge-based economy, the inability to extract value from a skilled workforce has become the primary bottleneck for production and growth. This creates a distinct paradox. Two companies can implement identical business plans or purchase the exact same technology, yet yield completely different financial returns. The determining factor in achieving a return on investment is not the technology itself, but the human capital engineered to use it. To see this in practice, look at two banks. Bank A installed new customer service software to help representatives handle inquiries. However, they did not alter the employees' roles, authority, or training in any way. This chart shows the result for Bank A. While the reps handled calls faster, the bank's total product sales and profit trend line remained completely flat. Bank B installed the exact same software, but their management team paired the technology with a specific set of human resource interventions. They taught the reps how to cross-sell banking services, gave them the authority to make decisions on the spot, and raised their wages to reflect the new skills. Because the bank empowered its people to capitalize on the software, product sales and profitability spiked. Strategic human resource management functions as a direct engine for increasing profitability. Unlocking this profit requires treating talent acquisition and development as an engineered system, one aligned precisely with a firm's operational tools. This system operates as a mechanical linkage called the strategic alignment architecture, connecting abstract corporate goals to the daily actions of individual employees. The top tier of the architecture identifies the company's overarching strategic aims. That goal dictates the middle tier, the specific employee competencies and behaviors required to execute it. The bottom tier consists of the exact human resource policies necessary to produce those specific behaviors. The retailer LL Bean provides a clear example of how this architecture is constructed. LL Bean's Tier 1 strategy is built on offering high-end outdoor equipment combined with expert, personalized customer advice. To deliver that expertise, Tier 2 requires employees who are inherently sociable and highly outdoor-oriented. Consequently, their Tier 3 hiring policies use a multiple interview process to filter for cultural fit, rather than just basic retail skills. They complete the tier with engagement policies like outdoor equipment borrowing and remote work capabilities to keep that specialized talent committed. A company's external customer experience is the measurable output of its internal HR policies. Maintaining this alignment is becoming more difficult as external macro trends collide. This data table illustrates a demographic squeeze. The traditional entry-level workforce is shrinking, while the percentage of workers over the age of 55 is projected to double. This is occurring alongside an economic shift toward high-tech service industries, where the acquisition of superior human capital is essential to survival. Even traditional manufacturing jobs now require a level of technological sophistication that was unnecessary a few years ago. Furthermore, the rise of the gig economy has restructured the relationship between employer and employee. Under this model, talent is viewed as mobile, independent bundles of skills, often hired on a per-project basis via platforms like Upwork. Slow-moving, centralized HR departments are often structurally incapable of managing a workforce that is this fractured and specialized. To adapt, companies are moving towards a model known as distributed HR. This involves pushing human resource tasks out of a centralized silo and directly into the operational layer of the company. Using social tools like LinkedIn, line managers can bypass traditional recruiters to source passive talent directly for their specific departments. Cloud-based platforms allow for continuous performance appraisals and real-time feedback embedded into daily peer workflows. Managers can now use predictive talent analytics to identify patterns in employee behavior and prevent turnover before it happens. Central HR teams have evolved into advisory centers of expertise, assisting with high-level strategy rather than day-to-day administrative tasks. In this operational reality, every line manager functions as an HR manager. They are directly responsible for the staffing, training, and continuous engagement of their own teams. Successfully executing these localized tasks require those managers to understand the broader strategic goals of the firm. Distributing these functions to the front lines allows a company to remain agile in a rapidly shifting economy. To ensure this entire system remains functional, we return to the strategic alignment architecture. Distributed HR is powered by a feedback loop called evidence-based management. This is the use of data, analytics, and scientific evaluation to justify human resource decisions. This data proves whether a specific practice, like a new training portal, actually produced the required employee behavior and contributed to the strategic goal. Analytics provides the empirical evidence needed to identify which human resource investments result in higher company performance. This creates a new requirement for managers. They must learn to speak the CFO's language. Successful managers defend their human resource plans in measurable terms, specifically quantifying the projected return on investment. A brilliant corporate strategy is useless without the human capital required to execute it. The acquisition, alignment, and retention of elite talent is the most powerful lever a business has to outmaneuver competitors. Human resource management is the engineering discipline that bridges the gap between abstract corporate strategy and tangible market victory.